Moving on to human number 2 that we have to interact with on every commercial real estate. So we have the tenant. Now we move into the owner, which we obviously have talked about the owner, but I think it's important that we really mine into the owner and kind of the role that they play there. Mm-hmm. This is the man or woman who owns the property.
Yeah.
Now, owns. You get a lot of fluff in commercial real estate. Oh, I'm a partner. Yeah. Oh, I'm an investor. Oh, who owns the building here? When the problem happens, where does the buck stop?
Yeah.
Who's the owner? And the entrepreneur who's typically leasing the property, you probably won't interact too much with the actual owner, but it's important to know something about him. So why is it that the entrepreneur who's leasing space typically does not interact much with the owner?
Well, usually the owners of buildings they're entrepreneurs themselves, and maybe it's a group of them, and they've figured out that real estate is a good core business to be in, but it's not a good position for them to be meeting with tenants ever on a regular basis. So they hire a property management company. If you're in the real estate business, it's a good strategy to take. Now, if you're the tenant, you need to understand who is this owner, what kind of reputation they have, but really it's important to know the property manager that you're going to be dealing with, because that's the person that can make your life difficult or not difficult. The owners, sometimes the owners are out of state, or they're investors that are just in putting money somewhere in an investment, sort of like a stock or a business of some sort, and that's the way they see the building, and they don't want to be reachable, they don't want to be held liable for anything that they've said, so they hire that property manager. That property manager can make it very difficult or easier on you, but you need to have a good relationship with them as well.
Now, just something that might blow your mind, I know it blew my mind starting out, but I was first leasing space, but one owner, one of the first guys I leased from, I think the guy had something like 50 properties. He owns 50 buildings. Mm-hmm. Just boom, 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 boom. And this guy's worth like $50 million. Craziness.
Yeah.
Well, so as a general rule, the owner might have 50 properties. And if he were to even just take one call a week from each tenant, he might get 300 calls a week, because every building he might have multiple tenants.
Right.
So he'll hire a property manager for each building, or maybe for a few buildings, to try to create a buffer between him and the tenant.
That's correct. And then again, this is different from the broker. It might be the same company, but that broker that you like, they're usually not also the property manager. It can happen, but it's more rare. So it's a good question to ask in every building: who is going to be the person I'm going to be dealing with on a regular basis? Sometimes the owner will say it's just me. I'm a local owner, and it's just me. But majority of the time, it's going to be a property management company. You want to meet that person before you sign a lease.
So I'm just going to throw out some weird stuff that can happen. It's happened to me. It might happen to you.
Yeah.
If you're getting a property, if you're leasing a property from an owner who you find out through Google or through research or whatever, who has bad financials, is in a bad financial situation, I've had situations where the owner has actually not made their own mortgage payments for a building.
Yes.
Or has not paid their utilities, or has not paid. So literally, I, as a tenant over here, have been told, hey, we're going to turn off your water. We're going to turn off your electricity. Not even we're going to, but we just did. Yeah. I've literally had it happen where the water or the electricity has been turned off in my building because this person here did not make their payment.
Yeah.
So when I call this person, I have to have faith that this person here is a quality person and that this person is a quality person.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to the quality and the integrity of these people.
Yeah.
Is a big deal.
Yeah, I think it was Ronald Reagan that said, trust but verify.
Boom.
And you don't want to just look for the devil around every corner, but you do want to verify that these people are humans that want to have a reputation that is viable and good. And I'd say most people want that, but you still have to be ready for the worst. And in that situation, you probably called up and had to pay for your own water and electricity for a while and eventually figure it out. But you had a deal that said you were not going to pay for your own water and electricity, and so that happens. What are you going to do? Are you going to sue, or are you going to pay the water and electricity bill for a little while? Be ready for that kind of thing.